Do you remember? What have the politicians left behind for the people after the country received independence in 1948? On the 8th of January 2015, the people unseated an administration that had been in power for over a decade to end theft, fraud and corruption and to bring the thieves before the law. Ranil Wickremesinghe, whose party had only 46 seats in parliament, removed the central bank from the purview of the Ministry of Finance and brought it under his Economic Development Ministry soon after he was appointed as Prime Minister. He then appointed Arjuna Mahendran from Singapore to the top post of the central bank, while ignoring the objection raised by the President and the Cabinet of Ministers. The amount of losses caused due to the bond scam that involved the central bank governor and his son-in-law's company has not been calculated as of yet. Nevertheless, it was the Employees' Provident Fund containing the money of the working public that faced massive losses due to this scam. The sister of former central bank governor Ajit Niwad Cabral held a top post in the company owned by the son-in-law of the central bank governor appointed by Ranil Wickremesinghe. It was during Ajit Niwad Cabral's term as central bank governor that accusations were levelled for amassing funds through various companies in the stock market. Fake companies were set up by a group with close ties, which purchased shares and then sold them at high rates to the Employees' Provident Fund, the Employees' Trust Fund and small-scale investors. The central bank has a responsibility to inquire into the stock market, the Employees' Provident Fund and the Employees' Trust Fund. Some listed companies that were in the stock market at the time are yet to commence business operations. At the time of these dealings, it was Dr. Nalaka Godaheva who served as the chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission, which regulated the stock market. He is now a candidate of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna. During the Good Governance government, the matter was not only investigated by the FCID, but was also taken up in court. Although this was said to be political revenge, the damage could be evaluated through an inquiry into the small-scale investors who were compelled to end their life. Ranil Wickremesinghe's appointment as Prime Minister was immediately followed by the appointment of his close ally Charitha Ratwatta as his advisor. Charitha Ratwatta's brother was then offered a post at Sri Lankan Airlines. The last Airbus deal saw no aircraft being purchased, although more than 14 billion Sri Lankan rupees of public funds had been paid as a penalty. During the administration of Mahinda Rajapaksa, it was relatives who were appointed to the national air carrier that was destroyed after Wickremesinghe's allies were appointed to top positions. The case about the $2 million bribe obtained during the Airbus deal by the former Chief Executive Officer of Sri Lankan Airlines now lies before the court. The avant-garde deal was another explosive revelation made during the Good Governance government. The police which raided the avant-garde floating armoury that came into operation after obtaining permission during the Rajapaksa regime recovered weapons from a state entity called Rakna Lanka Limited. The official at the Attorney General's Department who probed the case revealed in a report that weapons without serial numbers were recovered from the ship. Tilak Marapana, Vajirabewardena and Vijayadasa Rajapaksa in Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe's government outwardly defended avant-garde, although the official and a presidential commission recommended the filing of a criminal case regarding the matter. Vijayadasa Rajapaksa has openly spoken about how he had protected the avant-garde company. How Vajirabewardena protected the avant-garde company has been revealed in political platforms ahead of the election. He is now a candidate running for parliament. The construction of the Hambantota port began during the Mahinda Rajapaksa administration after obtaining a massive loan from China. This project became a major talking point during the transition of governments in 2015. Ranil Wickremesinghe, who ascended to power promising to investigate the Hambantota port project, sold off the port on a 99-year lease to China. It is China which is now reaping a majority of the benefits generated through the port. The Wickremesinghe administration obtained investments for projects relating to the Hambantota port from a businessman who alleged that foreign bank accounts were maintained during the Rajapaksa rule. The people have not forgotten how that particular businessman joined Wickremesinghe while laying the foundation for a cement factory. The former government also began a project to construct an oil refinery in Hambantota, stating that it would involve a huge investment from Qatar. Ultimately, it was a business owned by a politician mired in corrupt deals that had mooted the project that came up when Kabir Hashim was the minister in charge of the subject. The list of such matters go on and on. Individuals who lined their own pockets by burdening the people are now seeking the people's mandate to enter parliament once again. It is due to this reason religious leaders had proposed candidates must hand over an affidavit along with their nomination list for the election. They said the affidavit must testify whether the candidate or a close contact holds licenses for liquor stores, betting centers or casinos, the educational or professional qualifications of the candidates, and also whether the candidate has any contracts with state bodies. The religious leaders proposed that the parliamentary position of a candidate must be temporarily suspended and a case must be filed with the permission of the Attorney General if such a candidate is found to have lied in a particular affidavit. They stressed it was the responsibility of political parties to nominate candidates who do not face criminal accusations and those who have professional knowledge and are law-abiding. Let us think for a moment. Corrupt individuals are voted into power by the people. Therefore, let us think and rethink about this matter.